Izzy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing kind of different tea spilling video and I'm really excited to share this with you guys. This is something I've held in my little heart for so long. You know, we just gotta let it out. Also, if I'm looking to the side, it's because one of my old coworkers is here with me to clock me on my facts. Before I get into any part of this video, I just want to say that the intention of this video is to not have hatred or negativity sent to either the company that I'm speaking about or the person I'm speaking about, and that I am fully against that. Just protect ourselves legally, ladies. Also, I'm going to be completely protecting the identities of these people in this company, so there will be no slander, no defamation of character, no libel. So sweetie, if you're watching this, don't even try me. I already Googled it. So yeah, let's just jump into this. Today I'm gonna be telling you the story about my psychopathic boss and how she manipulated, in my perspective, manipulated and emotionally and verbally abused college students for years, and how this shit is still going on. I'm just kind of the first to like really publicly dig into that. Quick editor's note, I just want to say that there are some screenshots that I didn't include with what I'm talking about, so stay tuned for a little montage at the end. Please watch to the very end. I promise it just gets juicier. You could have a montage of some of those receipts I didn't include. She's also has stolen money from, I'm sure, what is it now, like thousands of dollars from people. Basically, so you understand this, I'm gonna have to explain the company to you, but there are multiple of these. I can see you Snapchatting in our groups. There are multiple of these companies in the town that we live in, so you can't really clock which one I'm talking about. In the town we live in, there are golf cart companies, and they're like taxis or Ubers, but on golf carts, and our company was just college students that worked there, and you just drive people around campus. So basically, how I got the job was at the end of my sophomore year. This was March 2018. I saw in the ticket exchange that we have for the school that a lady, we're gonna call her Sally. Sally had posted in the ticket exchange saying that she's hiring people for a company. I had always wanted to work for one of those companies, so I jumped on that. I DM'd her, asked for her email so I could send my resume. I emailed her my resume, and like dead ass, I was expecting her to like call me and like interview me, because in any job I've ever had, whether it's working at Hollister or working at like a real professional company, I've always had to be interviewed. But she literally just like guessed my Facebook looked reliable, and she just literally, Daddy Tyler just texted me. I just expected her to interview me, but there was none of that. She literally just like hired me on spot and told me the responsibilities. So that same March, I went and I trained with one of my coworkers who had been there for a while. And let me just tell you, one thing about this business that should have been a red flag to me is that it is like a revolving door of employees. Like, I think from the time I started there to the time I ended, there were over 30 employees that joined and then quit. There are only 2 or 3 people that are literally still there from when I first started, or even just from when I worked there at any point. So basically, it was like a rotating cycle of employees, just because simply she was a and no one could handle it. The thing about this boss, there were just so many red flags that I should have spotted over the year and a half that I was there, and I simply just like defended her. I thought that other people were just being over dramatic, and I like defended this woman so much. Like, if you ask any of my coworkers, I always stood up for her for literally what she treated us like. And I have to say, not everything about this company was bad. I made some really great friends with the other employees, and I get a cool YouTube video out of it. So one thing that really grinded my gears about my psycho boss Sally was that she would make us drive in extremely unsafe conditions. Okay, we live in Alabama. The weather is not peachy keen all the time. We have tornadoes, we get really cold, thunderstorms, like it gets really bad. And so I'm gonna be putting on the screen some receipts. All the names except for mine are blocked out. Black means that it's Sally, my boss. She would make us drive in thunderstorms. We would be messaging her like, literally the streets are flooding, we need to go inside, we can't drive, and metal boxes in thunderstorms, and she would be like, just ignore you. Like, literally just would not respond when it was not convenient for her and when it meant she wasn't making money. Like, I have a screenshot of her making us drive in under 25-degree weather, and she had no covers on the golf carts, like, literally just out there braving the cold and wind. I get that this is a job, but, like, we would literally be so sick, and she wouldn't care. She would be like, sorry. Another thing I have proof of is that she just straight up wouldn't buy parts. Like, our brakes would be faulty, and she would know, and our mechanic, who was also, like, one of our other coworkers, would tell her that we needed to replace parts because it wasn't safe for us to drive without proper brakes, or without the, like, wheel, or what is it, the tires being rotated correctly? The wheel not being rotated correctly? Like, when it, you remember when it used to, like, spin off to one direction? Yeah. Like, that's not safe to drive in, and she just wouldn't buy the correct parts. One of my coworkers, who was there for maybe a month, literally got a ticket for not fully stopping at a stop sign, and that was simply because his brakes didn't work. If this tells you how much she literally didn't care about her safety, there was a night that I literally got assaulted on a cart. Like, a police report was made, and the guy was arrested on 7 charges. I'm not just being dramatic. He literally jumped on my cart, swung back to punch me in the face. He ripped out the electrics on my cart, and she made me keep driving that night. After a guy got arrested on 7 charges after literally attempting to beat the out of me. And she also wouldn't file the report on that, so he couldn't be charged with any of the shit he did to me. He could only be charged with, like, drinking. The one biggest thing she would do that was probably the biggest red flag that I don't know why, honestly, I was being kind of selfish because I always knew if I quit, I would just do it after I'd gotten paid. She simply just wouldn't give people their last paychecks. Like I said, she owes people thousands of dollars, and it's because what she would do is people would attempt to quit, or she'd attempt to fire them. She would just straight up block their numbers. Instead of, like, paying them, she would literally just block their numbers, and we were paid through Venmo. Pretty sure it was all illegal under the table. So IRS sweetie, if you want her contact information, hit me up. I'm ready to let her go down for, like, what is that? Tax evasion. All that, girlie, I got you. An illegal business? Where's your license, honey? So she would just block people instead of paying them, and she would always tell people, I'm sending your check in the mail, and they would ask for a tracking number or some sort of proof that she did, and she would never give it, and they would just never get their last paycheck. She also was just so bad about paying. So how it would work is we would get paid every 2 weeks, like we would work a shift, and then 2 weeks after that we would get paid in Venmo, so we would turn in all our money at the end of the night. But my theory, and what was probably happening, was why she could never pay people on time, was because we were giving her cash in Venmo. So, like, that was how we made our money. So she was clearly just, like, spending that money and then didn't have it to give back to us. So, like, when I first started working there, we got paid the Monday a week after our shift. She kept pushing it back so far that by the time I quit, we were getting paid the Thursday 2 weeks after a shift. So our deal with her was, if a ticket was, like, our fault, like a speeding ticket, I mean, you could get a speeding ticket, but some sort of traffic citation, then we had to pay it. But if it was for, like, registration or insurance or something that she did wrong, she told us that she would be paying those. But the thing is, she just never would pay them, to the point where one of my coworkers literally had an arrest warrant because she missed her court date, because Sally told her that she would be paying the ticket before. So my coworker didn't go to her court date thinking that it had been paid, and literally had a warrant out for her arrest. She would deadass just not pay things. I have a screenshot of, instead of updating the registration on the golf carts, I have a screenshot of her literally just telling us to avoid the police, after, like, 4 or 5 of my coworkers had gotten pulled over and gotten tickets. She also sent us fake insurance, which one of my coworkers got a ticket for that she never paid him for. She literally gave us fake expired insurance. Like, one of the guys who used to work there, he was like a manager type person, and he works in insurance, and he literally told us this is fake. This isn't real insurance. One other huge red flag with her that really peeved me off pissed me off was she would literally act like a 20-year-old and just gossip to other employees. I don't understand how, as an owner, you're supposed to want us to respect you when you can't even like treat us with the decency of not talking about your college-aged employees to other college-aged employees. I have an example of this. Like, she and I have screenshots from this whole conversation. One of our coworkers quit in the middle of a shift, and she called me and said, tell your coworker that she can just keep the $6 she made. So I tell my coworker that, and then the coworker gets a text from saying, I don't know why you went home without turning your money in. I will press charges. You stole from me. I'm going to call the police. And the coworker was like, Izzy told me that you said to just keep it. And she basically said, Izzy doesn't own this company. She also paid other employees to snitch on other people. Like, she literally paid employees to snitch on people and then made fake texts to make it look like it was an outside source when really it was she paid employees to snitch. I think the worst thing she probably ever did to me was the time she fired me as a joke. I have so much proof of this. She literally, I was sitting at the house, it had been a really bad day, I had just gotten out of a test, and she calls me and says, I need you to, she came to town, she was like, I need you to get to the lot right now, like the lot where we park the carts. And I was like, is everything okay? I just finished a test, like it's gonna take me a hot minute to get there. And she was like, no, you need to come here so we can discuss the status of your employment. And I start freaking out. I immediately call one of my good friends who also happened to be the manager at the time, so I just assumed he would know. So I call him and I'm like, what did I do? I'm literally sobbing. Like, I don't know what I did. I can't lose this job. I need the money. I hear in the background a woman just maniacally laughing, and the two of them were together at the lot, and they like literally were gonna like let me get all the way to the lot, making me think I was fired, and then be like, haha, just kidding. Isn't that like illegal to fire someone as a joke? Is that not like, that has to be against some sort of workers' rights? Like, that is so up. I'm literally a 20-year-old girl and you're in your late 30s with all your little, you're gonna fire me as a joke? You really? I'll probably have to cut that out. She would also just like lie so much. Like, when it just was simply not convenient for her to respond or to pay us, she would just lie. This, I'm gonna say, this is like 98% sure it's a lie. But, however, I take like the health of people's family members like very seriously. Like, just know that I would not accuse her of this if I didn't think it was 100% a lie. There was one day when she was 2 days late paying us, and we were like, what the is going on? We need to be paid, blah, 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 blah. And she, in our employee group me, told us that her son had a stage 10 asthma attack. Why don't we just collectively together do a quick little Google search? A stage 10 asthma attack does not exist, sweetie. There are mild asthma attacks, moderate asthma attacks, and severe asthma attacks, which can get you hospitalized. Clearly, there's people in my family who have severe asthma. One of my coworkers literally has severe asthma. Now, wouldn't you think the mother of someone with stage 10 asthma or even severe asthma would know? Does not make sense medically. Hi, me in the future editing. I just wanted to clarify before I get clocked that at least from the Google search that I'm putting in this video, there is up to stage 4 in like pediatric asthma. It doesn't go above that, and it's not talking about a specific asthma attack. It's talking about asthma in general. So you can have like stage 1, which is just like you have a little bit. Stage 4 is when it's like persistent, ongoing, all that. Stage 10, not real, sweetie. Now, feel free, if you're a doctor, if you're nurse, if you're in the medical field, if you have severe stage 10 asthma, feel free to clock me in the comments with that one. I'm so ready to be wrong. But like, from Google, you would think, like, I can Google the word stage 4 cancer. It exists. Stage 10 asthma does not exist. It is not Googleable. Yeah. Now I'm going to talk about the group me. So we had an employee group me, and then we had a ride request group me where a bunch of people from the town we live in could just put in a request, like, hey, I need a ride from this sorority house to this bar, whatever, and then we would go and say, on my way, pick them up. We had an old group me with her in it, and what she would do is if one of us couldn't pick up someone, she would like at people in the group me, and it would really piss off not the employees, but it would piss off the customers, and people wouldn't use that group me because the owner was so obnoxious in it. So one of my other coworkers who ended up working for a competitor business decided to just make a new group me, and he just added us all in it. We didn't even really know that it was like not approved by her. Like, we just thought, oh, we have a new group me, because she deleted our old one because we were getting so much shit in it. Then the person who worked with us ended up quitting and switching to a competitor company. Now the owner of the competitor company actually used to work for the company that I used to work at too, and we're all like super tight with him, and this guy was kind enough to let us continue using that group me even though it belonged to his company now. So because he understood the fact that the more people that are replying to customers' messages, the more customers are going to want to use that group me. He literally let us keep using that group me. Now this is the day I'm going to tell you, this segues into why I quit. So on one day, a bunch of people had been quitting. People weren't getting paid. She was like, people were kind of bitching her out on their way out, you know? And so we had a text group chat that was, it literally is called The Fall of the Empire. Like, I'll literally put in a screenshot of that. It does not have the company name in it whatsoever. And it was literally a text group chat as friends because, like, get this, we were all friends outside of work. We literally went out together, like, had our own little parties. Like, we were all friends. There's two group chats. There's a group me, which is directly correlated to the business with the owner in it, and there's a group text that's just coworkers. The majority of which, I think there were only 4 of us who still actually worked there, that were still in this group chat. Like, the rest of the 10 people didn't even work at this company anymore. On June 5th, everyone's quitting, and I'm in LA. It says on my phone in these screenshots 10:46, but that's because I'm in Central Time now. I was on West Coast time when this is happening, so my work started at 10 o'clock. I typically left my house at 9. So it's 8:46 a.m. I'm literally about to walk out the door to work, and I get a text from Sally saying, hey, can you do me a favor? And I was replying really slow because I was trying to get ready for work. I said, getting ready for work right now. I haven't been reading the group me. What's up? Because I just saw that there was shit going down in the employee group me, and I didn't read it yet. She said, can you add me to the other group me? And literally, I didn't respond in a minute. 1 minute, and she sent me a question mark. Like, I literally was like, I just told you I'm trying to get ready for work. Like, I don't have the time for this. So I'm thinking when she says, can you add me to the other group me, I'm assuming that she means the ride request group me that she wasn't a part of, because that would just make sense, right? She said group me. I said, sorry, I have to leave in a couple minutes if I'm not responding immediately. I'm trying to get ready for my real internship. Like, this little golf cart, as much as you want to say, this is a job, this is not a job. This is a hobby that I make money for. This is not even your... I can't say that. I can't say that. This is a side hustle for me. This is not a real job. I don't give a about you in the summer. I don't want to hear from you in the summer. You don't matter to me when I'm not in this town working for you. This is my off time. She says, if you could just add me real quick, I would greatly appreciate it. How's your summer going? And I'm just thinking, if I add her to that group me, everyone will be pissed at me. Like, literally, people would stop being friends with me, and also, like, I just don't want to up to group me like that. Like, all the customers would leave. Like, it would cause so much shit. Like, I just was not in the mood to deal with that. So I said, the only reason I'm very hesitant to do that is because it's not technically ours. It's the name of the other company, and the other owner have been really kind enough to just let us be in there and use it. We've made so much money from it on our end. Even if we're not using it right now, I know the chaos doing that would cause. It would 100% have negative consequences in my personal life with my friendships, which is just a little too far for me. You know I completely respect you as my boss. Clearly I've been at your company for a very long time now, and I plan to continue into next school year, but that crosses a line for me. I'm sorry if I'm disappointing you, but it's just not something I'm comfortable with. It's been going well. I hope yours has too. She said, so it has my business name on it and you won't add me to it? You really think that's a good move for your job at the company? This is your job, and you're worried about offending your friends by putting me in a group that has my business name on it? Okay. So at this point, I can see how I'm in the wrong a little bit, okay? But I just was not about to cause that drama. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't care enough. I literally was like, okay, fire me then. I said, it's not about offending my friends at all. Honestly, I'm really uncomfortable with the way this conversation is turning. It may have your name on it, but it is none of my doing whatsoever, and I'm not involved. It makes me really, really sad that you would threaten my job over that, as I've been very loyal to you for a very long time. Because all that can ever talk about is loyalty. Where is your loyalty when it comes to me? I'm so dispensable to you, clearly. She said, it makes me very, very sad you wouldn't add me to the group me. I'm reporting the group and having it removed. You just telling me will affect your job. Okay then. I said, I understand why, but this just crosses a boundary for me I'm not comfortable with. I'm sorry I'm disappointing you, and if you feel the need to take that route, then as our boss, that's your call, and I'll respect that. I'm just really disappointed in the outcome of this conversation. Whew. She said, I just don't understand why you think it's okay to, 1, not add me to a group that has my business name on it, and 2, be a part of it. I want to be added to delete our employees as I was advised to do by our business attorney. Let me just say, you really expect me to believe that you are paying for a business attorney when you cannot even afford to pay your f***ing employees? Really? You really want to make me believe that you have a business attorney for your illegally run business? Okay. Okay. I've just been chilling at work. Like, I just didn't want to deal with that. It was 9:21 at that point. I said, sorry for the late response. I've been running out the door. Joining this group me was never a conscious decision we made. We honestly thought you knew about it for a long time. I have no problem going to the other owner and asking him to take the company out of the name, though. I'm sure he would do that no problem. She goes, is this the group me blank has been running her mouth in? So this blank is actually the name of another coworker who had just quit. And she had been texting us in our group text, like, I just quit, sent the screenshots of her, like, telling Sally what a she is, like, whatever. And we're all just dying laughing. So now we know there's a snitch in our midst. So keep in mind, that entire conversation I just had, I thought, okay, I'm in the wrong a little bit for not doing this, but whatever. In reality, this woman wanted me to add her to our friend group text so she could delete the people who didn't work for her company anymore because we weren't allowed to be friends with them. I literally have other screenshots of her talking about old employees, saying if she ever catches us talking to them, then it's automatic dismissal. This really wanted to tell us who we could be friends with for a golf cart company. Like, this is comical. This is comical. I said, what? No one has, I'm still thinking she's talking about the group me. I said, what? No one has said anything in it. It's just for ride requests. She said, okay, never mind then. I'm sorry. So it's a group text? I said, we have a group text with some coworkers completely unaffiliated with the company. She said, K. At this point, I'm like, this is off her rocker. Truly, like, if I didn't think firing me as a joke was crazy, if I didn't think not paying people was as crazy, I'm just glad that this is what made me finally realize this is psycho. So I said, Sally, I really did not want it to come to this. I've enjoyed working for you for the past year and a half, but I think my time at your company should come to an end. I think you'll probably agree with me on that. I'm very thankful for all you and your husband have done for me. I'm not just saying this to BS you, because she's always like, you're BSing me. You've helped me out a lot and have been very loyal to me, as I have to you. That's not something I take lightly. This is not a job that I'm willing to sacrifice my relationships with others for. I'm sorry for that, but I feel like that's what this is coming down to. Like I said, I appreciate all you've done. I hope you can remain amicable as you've been a very good boss to me. Literally, I hated this woman. I was just trying to end this on a nice note. She could not let that happen. You know what she says to me? You know what this woman says to me that sparked this video? She says, why do you feel like your job will come between you and your friends? I don't know, because you're crazy? Like, because I don't want to deal with this anymore? Like, let me out, girly. I know I'm one of your best employees, but just let me out. I said, I really don't want to get into the details of all of it. Just know that I really enjoyed my time with your company and I'm very thankful for all you've done. Like, literally, guys, do I not sound like such a little pussy-ass bitch right now? I was trying to be so nice. She said, this woman, this 30-something-year-old woman with 5 kids. 5? 4? I don't know. Another thing I can't say.
Going hard.
She says, as stupid and as immature as I think your decision is, that's your decision. Your friends don't pay your bills. Your job does. But good luck in the future. I'm quitting. I'm quitting. And you really want to call me stupid and immature and say your friends don't pay your bills? I do? Good night. I said, by the way, the other owner changed the name of the group me for you. It's no longer your company anymore. She said, K. I said, thank you for everything, Sally. Have a good rest of your day. She said, thanks, you too. And then blocked me on Instagram, on Facebook. She blocked my number. She really said, bye, Izzy Quinn. All I can say is, as crazy as I'm sounding right now, I was a really good employee to this woman. Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you. I was a great employee to this woman. Literally, when she was going through some horrible personal stuff, I deadass banded the group together and spent like personal money on sending her flowers. Screenshot of that right here. Like, I always defended her, and I have to say, like, yes, a lot of people when they quit were very disrespectful to her, but the one thing that, like, I can pride myself in is that I was never to her face. Like, when I was quitting, I was never disrespectful to her. I defended her a lot, and honestly, like, a lot of people didn't like me because of that. Like, I just thought, like, at the end of the day, like, this is a woman with children, and I'm not gonna, like, sit here and, like, on her, until now. Like, I was a very good employee to this woman, and I'm sad that it had to end this way, but at the same time, like, there's really nothing I can do. And I'm just gonna reiterate one more time before I end this video that clearly I went off in this video. I'm very angry. I'm very sad by the way that my friends and I were treated, but that does not warrant, like, if you figure out who this woman is or who this company is, I do not condone anyone sending her hate or like being rude to her. Like, this is my own personal vendetta and my coworkers, and like, at the end of the day, this is a woman with children, and as much as I dislike her and her morals and her values and the way she runs a business, that doesn't warrant, you know, being cruel to anyone. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, I've thrown out some cuss words in this video, but nothing I've said has been untrue. Like, besides calling her crazy a couple times, like, I haven't called her any names. Like, all I've told you is the legitimate things that she's done to us with proof. And if she can't handle that, she can't handle that. If she wants to take me to court, good luck, honey, because our other coworkers have actually already filed claims on you for stealing their money, and we've already actually been asked to be on Judge Jerry Springer and Judge Mathis. So if that works out, it's happening, filming next week. Really excited to go and watch in the audience. But yeah, like, everything I've said in this video, clearly I've backed up with proof. At the end of this, I'm about to put a little montage of just some other fun screenshots from my time with her that I just didn't want to go into explaining. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's a whirlwind. I hope you enjoyed the tea at the end of the day. We're just here to throw a little, excuse me, to throw a little shade, spill a little tea, and have a messy ass time here on the internet. So, thumbs up if you understand that reference. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you kitty girls next time.